Okay, the title of the second short story is called What's Up, Doc? The year is 1957, and I am sitting in the chair that I often sat in back in those days. I am referring to my dentist chair. Throughout my life, I've had ongoing problems with my teeth. That is largely my fault due to neglect. However, as I have matured and I take the necessary care of my teeth, other than seeing the dentist regularly, uh, though dentistry has come a long way since my experience back in 1957, it has caused me to take longer intervals between dental appointments. So getting back to 1957, which means I am 7 years old, and my dentist has just finished examining me, and he's just outside the office discussing my situation with my mother. The conversation is muffled, and yet I hear some of it, and I start to get pretty concerned. Whatever they are talking about, I don't want to hear it, although unfortunately, I know I will. Apparently, I have, at least I was told that I have, a calcium deficiency and some other problem which I could not understand the name of the malady, but it really didn't matter. You see, my mom told me that the dentist said the only way to solve the problem was to extract all my baby teeth. Since I was 7 years old, my adult teeth would be growing in shortly, and in the interim it was decided that I would wear false teeth. The so-called interim turned out to be approximately 1 year. There are thoughts that race through a 7-year-old mind when he is told that all of his teeth are going to be pulled. Aside from the abject fear and imagining the pain, I did not even know at the time what in the hell false teeth were. My mom told me the ritual that I would have to endure every morning and every evening. This, in itself, really pissed me off, for the simple reason that I had no say in the matter. In the end, I had to accept my fate. Now the real fear crept in. What in the hell was I going to look like? Well, when I finally received my false teeth and was instructed on how to put them on, for which a 7-year-old boy was ridiculously painful, not to mention the time it took to get them on, I felt ugly. This was confirmed when I looked up into my bathroom mirror and saw my Bugs Bunny-looking face. All I was missing was the carrot, and then perspiration began to stream down my face when I realized that I had to go to school the next day. My fears were justified when I was brutally ridiculed by my classmates. Remember, this is New York. At every opportunity, and you know how cruel kids can be, much less New York kids. When I got home from school that day, immediately my mom could sense my mood and tried to cajole me. It did not work. I took off on a profanity-laced tirade on how this was the worst day of my life and how could she have possibly let this happen. Once again, realized this was New York City and profane speech was as natural as breathing. This was also the first time I had used such language, and it would not be the last. You see, in New York, depending on how you say swear words, determines on whether or not the recipient is being complimented or insulted. This was also the first outward sign of anger issues that I would struggle to control for the rest of my life. Many of these stories will illustrate this, though at this point in my life, I am proud of the progress that I have made. As you already know or can imagine, there was a happy ending to this incident that I thought would never come about. It took approximately 10 months for my adult teeth to grow in, and when that happened, I grabbed a hammer from the small amount of tools we had around the apartment. I went outside and I obliterated the false teeth.